Joshua Brisco for Sports Radio 810 out here again at Arrowhead Stadium as the Chiefs are preparing for the winless New York Jets. I didn't purposefully wear a Jets-colored Kansas City hat for this video, but it is the topic of this video, so I'll take it. We heard from Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce today. You'll get clips of all of them over the course of this video. One of my favorite questions of the day was to Andy Reid from our own Todd Lebo of Sports Radio 810, of course, and he asked Andy Reid, who said the Jets are a good football team. He said they're well coached. He says that about every team every week because in the NFL, everyone is talented and most coaches are good. But what specifically makes the Jets dangerous?
This league is been all about parity. I mean, that's what the league strives for. And so it's never as good as you think and never as bad as you think. Whether it's driven by the gambling or whether it's driven by the media, whatever it's driven by that present those numbers, I don't pay attention to them first, but you mentioned them to me. So I go off of what I see on tape. I go off of that every week somebody gets picked off that was one of these favorites or whatever. And so you go back and you focus on your agenda and you study the opponent, you respect the opponent, and then you get yourself right to make yourself get better every week. And if you lose focus on that, then you have a problem in this league. I mean, these are good football players and good coaches. And so best in the world, right, as you look at it. So you don't lose focus on that.
I think Andy Reid believes everything that he's saying there. It's really difficult to win games consistently in the NFL. You don't win games by taking other games lightly. And I even think we saw a little bit of that kind of happiness from him last week after that dominant Broncos win with touchdowns in all three phases of the game. That's hard to do. Being successful in the NFL is difficult enough against literally anybody. Let's hear from Patrick Mahomes now, who took this a little bit of a different direction, was asked a different question, and he looked back on the pre-draft process before he was ultimately, of course, selected by the Kansas City Chiefs. The Jets were interested in Mahomes. They had him in for a pre-draft visit. Did he think the Jets were serious over the course of that process?
I definitely thought there was interest there. I mean, whenever you get on those visits, you know that they're pretty interested in doing their due diligence. So, I mean, I definitely thought there was interest there. But at the time, they drafted a great player in Jamal Adams, and I mean, you can't really argue with that one.
Mahomes mentions there, of course, the Jets did get a great player in Jamal Adams, who doesn't play for them anymore. I know Mahomes knows that. I just want to make sure that you know that. Things could have gone very, very differently on draft night, and I'm sure the Chiefs could have made do with Deshaun Watson. He'd be great here as well, no doubt about it. But Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were not by any means a foregone conclusion. Things could have really changed up in those first 9 picks before the Chiefs leapt up and took their quarterback of the future. One more clip today. Let's hear from Travis Kelce. The Chiefs tight end was also asked by Lebo a bit of a similar question, the one that he asked Andy Reid. Why do you still have to hone in for the New York Jets? What can you be working on over the course of this week, preparing for them on Sunday?
In what ways are they dangerous? I mean, what do you have to be aware of?
We got to focus on ourselves. That's the biggest thing, and I think we can take that from every game that we've played this year, is that when we play to our ability, when we let the game come to us and we don't try and do too many things offensively or trying to go above and beyond. We have all the players that we need. We got the best weapons in the National Football League right here in this building. And when you have that, plus the quarterback that can sling it around and get the ball in everybody's hands and make the right plays and make the right decisions, you just gotta kind of trust the scheme and trust what you're doing is good enough and play your tail off. And as long as we focus on ourselves and how we play the game of football, got a lot of confidence we'll go in and take care of business.
You might have heard Kelce there say we have to work on ourselves. This is about the Chiefs taking this week to improve what they themselves are doing, maybe not worrying as much about the Jets. Look, the Jets could win this game if everything went poorly for the Chiefs and everything went well for them and half of the team didn't show up here to Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday. But obviously, we expect the Chiefs to win the game. They're favored by more than 20 points, which is crazy in the NFL. But obviously, the Chiefs don't want to break their focus. That makes sense to me. I'm Joshua Brisco for Sports Radio 810. For more great Chiefs coverage all week long, tune into your home for the NFL and the best Chiefs coverage in Kansas City. Sports Radio 810 WHB.